All right, everyone, welcome back. The discussion around Jay-Z is gaining momentum, especially as legal scrutiny across the music industry continues to intensify. With that focus growing, renewed attention is being placed on his early involvement in bringing Rihanna into the spotlight and how those formative moments shaped her rise as figures like 50 Cent and Jaguar right way in. The conversation is expanding beyond individual stories. More people are questioning how power, image-making, and long-standing industry relationships intersect behind the scenes. Together, these voices are adding new urgency to a debate that's quickly becoming impossible to ignore.
She was an innocent baby when she came over here. And look at her now.
14 going on 15 years old. Flown over without parental supervision in a private plane by a man who was supposed to be a producer who auditioned her at 3 a.m. in the morning in a hotel room. Auditioning at 3 a.m. in the morning, a 14-year-old girl. She was flown to another country. She was taken to Def Jam headquarters. She was left in a conference room alone with Sean Carter for nearly 6 hours alone with no parental supervision. Her father collected a $500,000 check. She has the fastest inked deal in Def Jam.
From the start, the story of how Rihanna's career deal came together has carried an air of urgency and pressure. Industry accounts describe a fast-moving introduction that brought her to the U.S. for intense, high-stakes meetings, where a life-changing label opportunity was placed in front of someone still very young and new to the business. The atmosphere, by many descriptions, was serious and demanding. Some insiders say the pace alone made the situation overwhelming, with decisions needing to be made quickly and little room to fully absorb what was happening. Even years later, these early moments are still debated, raising broader questions about how much pressure young artists face when they first step into the spotlight and how those early experiences can shape their entire careers.
Replay, I sang another ballad from the album last time.
So then what did he say to you? He said something to you.
Oh yes, he said, we don't sing songs here, we sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief.
But then he said something about a window and a door or something.
Oh, then he said, he did it whole
I did a lot of homework on you, this lady.
He said, there are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal signed or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
So you was like, where's the pen? Where's the paper? I'm signing.
Yeah.
The audience is so uncomfortable. Like, I don't know if Tyra was trying to get that on the record, but my God, what Jaguar? He threatened her. This is her own words coming out of her mouth. And she was a kid at that time, correct?
A 15-year-old girl who had been flown to the United States without parental supervision or a chaperone, brought to a grown man's office in a large corporate Manhattan building. Everybody knew when she flew in. I was there the day she got signed.
And
beautiful.
When I
girl.
met her that day, I knew she was a star. Like, just her look, the way she walked into a room and her confidence, and she performed in my office.
And she was what, 17 years old at that point?
She was 16.
16, and she has the confidence of it. She's like an old soul in a sense, right?
Absolutely.
So she walks in your office and what? She just belts out a tune?
Belts out a tune. She performs, and I tell her, there's no way out of this office. I signed her that day.
Wow.
Work ethic, everything is there. So we signed her that night. We didn't let her leave the office.
Really?
The 3 a.m. was when that contract got signed. So from the meeting around 3, 4 in the afternoon, we signed it by 3 a.m.
Wow.
That day.
In recent interviews, including a conversation on Bad Boy TV, 50 Cent has questioned some of Jay-Z's past decisions by pointing to larger issues in the music industry. He focused on themes like pressure, high expectations, and how power is handled behind the scenes, rather than making direct personal accusations. His comments have reignited long-running debates about industry culture, responsibility, and accountability. As a result, they've added new intensity to ongoing discussions about Jay-Z's influence and legacy in the music world.
In a high-profile lawsuit accuses rapper Jay-Z of raping a 13-year-old girl in 2000 alongside Sean Diddy Combs. The lawsuit, originally filed in October, was refiled today to include Jay-Z as a defendant. The anonymous accuser claims the assault occurred at an MTV Video Music Awards after-party. Jay-Z has denied the allegations in a statement on Rock Nation's Instagram, calling the accusations heinous and urging a criminal complaint be filed instead of a civil one. He also criticized the attorney behind the lawsuit, Tony Busby, accusing him of exploiting the case for personal gain.
Inside the building, plaintiff recognized many celebrities as she entered what appeared to be a large living room or foyer containing a large crowd. Plaintiff attempted to mingle in the crowd and talk to several of the celebrities that she recognized and whom she wanted to see at the VMAs. Waitstaff circulated throughout the room, carrying trays of drinks, and loud music played throughout the venue. Plaintiff observed widespread drug use, including marijuana and cocaine. After attempting to talk to numerous celebrities, plaintiff accepted a drink from one of the waitresses, circulating the crowd. The drink was a reddish-yellow mixture that tasted like orange juice, cranberry juice, and something bitter. After drinking just a portion of that drink, plaintiff began to feel woozy and lightheaded, making her need to lie down. A photograph of an actual exemplar container used by Combs and or his agents/employees to insert GHB into alcoholic drinks is seen below. And these are the photos included in the lawsuit that show a small plastic container that the plaintiff claims contained drugs at the party. The woman, remember, who claims she was 13 at the time, says she felt woozy and went to look for a place to lay down. Soon after, Combs entered the room along with defendant Carter and a female celebrity, Celebrity B. Plaintiff immediately recognized all three celebrities. Combs aggressively approached plaintiff with a crazed look in his eyes, grabbed her and said, "You are ready to party." Combs then threw plaintiff toward a wall, causing plaintiff to fall. Plaintiff got up and stumbled, at which point Combs grabbed her again and threw her on the bed. At that point, Carter began removing plaintiff's clothes as she grew more and more disoriented. Plaintiff was held down by Carter as he vaginally raped her, while Combs and Celebrity B watched. After Carter was finished, he stepped back toward the wall. Combs then stepped forward and vaginally raped plaintiff while Carter and Celebrity B watched. Combs then knocked plaintiff down and attempted to force plaintiff to perform oral sex on him. She fought back, standing up quickly and punching out at the same time, hitting Combs in the neck. Taken aback, Combs...
More recently, attention has turned back to Jay-Z's past after a newly filed lawsuit drew heavy media coverage. The case has reopened conversations about how major moments in the music industry were handled years ago. The account shared by the claimant raises questions about the culture at large industry events during that time, including the presence of well-known figures and what she describes as a lack of intervention. While the case is still ongoing and the claims remain unproven, it has renewed broader discussions about accountability, responsibility, and how the entertainment world responds to concerns left unresolved from earlier eras.
Jay-Z and Diddy and a teenager, 13-year-old teenager. Right. And we were speaking about just the statement.
Right.
The statement, you were saying you felt like that was calculated.
That was, the statement is something from, you can tell it was written by a lawyer. Because there's a point where it kind of gets aggressive. He says, you're going to find out, like how I'll handle this. And that's an attorney want to be combative with another attorney. That's not like a publicist wouldn't say those things.
This is on your
put that up.
Yeah, this is on 50? Yeah, it says I don't know what's going on, but are we still going to have the Super Bowl? I'm just asking for a friend.
Yeah, I'm asking for Kendrick. You know, I'm just trying to figure out if we're still doing everything the way. Because look, they will fall back, but the NFL, they won't necessarily be associated to that.
Right. Why do you not insert yourself, but you're on top of every topic, right?
Yeah. I'm just watching. I'm participating. I'm being part of culture. I'm just telling my opinion.
Right.
Look,
because you're part of the culture.
Like I can't say anything now. I'm out of it. I'm going to Dre's studio and just sit with Dre.
Now that the testimony is part of the public record and multiple witnesses are mentioned in the filing, legal analysts say the case could carry real influence as it moves forward. Attorneys reviewing the details note that some of the described circumstances resemble patterns often discussed in broader misconduct cases, which can shape how prosecutors evaluate such claims. While the allegations have not been proven and the investigation is ongoing, The situation underscores how seriously these reports are taken. It also shows how quickly a high-profile figure can find themselves under intense legal and public scrutiny once a case enters the spotlight.
Always advocate for yourself and be a voice for yourself. You should never let what somebody else did run your life.
A 38-year-old mother from Alabama who has filed a lawsuit accusing Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z of raping her when she was 13 years old is speaking out to NBC News for the first time. She asked us not to reveal her identity.
What made you want to come forward and talk today?
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough about what I've been through, and it's been hard enough to be quiet. But it's a chapter of my life that I'd like to close.
You weren't scared to be all alone?
No, with having autism is like feeling like you live your life in a shatterproof juggle ball. The world's on fire. The fire is inside the ball with you, but there's no way for you to get out.
In addition to having autism, the woman says she suffered a head injury. The night of the 2000s VMAs, she says a friend drove her from Rochester, New York to Manhattan, a more than 5-hour drive. Her attorney provided NBC News with the name of the friend who has since died. The woman says she spoke to Combs' limo driver who offered her a ride to an after party.
I stumbled upon Diddy's driver who told me that I was exactly what Diddy was looking for.
What did you think when he said that to you?
I thought it meant that I was just pretty.
She went to a White House, she says, where she spoke to musicians Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo because, I have about his tattoo. That's the Last Supper, because I have a religious background. So it was just something to talk about.
At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. Then she says Combs and Carter took turns raping her while a female celebrity watched.
JC comes in and rapes me. He at that point I was fighting, trying to get away from him, and he put his hand over my mouth and told me to stop it, cut the.
After the alleged rape, she says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up and drove her home.
We rode home in silence. He didn't ask me what happened. He didn't ask me.
Adding to the growing discussion, Jaguar Wright has spoken out, saying the recent allegations have brought renewed focus to concerns she claims have followed Jay-Z for many years. She referenced a career marked by complicated and controversial moments, noting that more industry voices are now beginning to share their perspectives. Wright urged the public to pay close attention to how powerful figures react when faced with criticism and legal pressure. Her comments raise broader questions about accountability, influence, and the challenges people face when they choose to speak openly about difficult experiences.
She could theoretically win if her testimony were especially compelling, but I think you put your finger on one of the real weaknesses, is that these allegations are ancient. One thing that leapt out to me is the allegations also include that there was a witness, yes, other than Diddy, who a female, another woman. Her testimony, and obviously she will be subpoenaed, could be crucial. I mean, if that testimony corroborated the plaintiff's claims, then that would be something that would really be a game changer. But the plaintiff alone, I think, is going to face some credibility issues, especially when you have Jay-Z. I mean, Diddy, the allegations are pretty widespread, but there haven't been similar allegations about Jay-Z.
People at risk, often mentioned online, was Jay-Z, real name Sean Carter, who came up in the New York rap scene alongside Sean Combs. And just a few days ago, Texas attorney Tony Busby made it official. He filed an amended complaint on behalf of a Jane Doe who says that she was raped by Combs and Carter when she was just 13 years old. That this happened at a VMAs after party back in 2000. Now, the original complaint mentioned Celebrity A and Celebrity B, a man and woman, as being present for and even Celebrity A participating in the alleged assault. Well, now Celebrity A has been identified as Jay-Z, who has adamantly denied anything like that ever happening. He is very, very clear on that. In fact, he has accused Tony Busby of extortion, saying that Busby's attempts to get celebrities to pay out huge sums of money in exchange for not being named in civil lawsuits with what he claims are false allegations amounts to blackmail. In fact, Jay-Z is believed to be the John Doe who just recently filed a lawsuit against Tony Busby anonymously, claiming extortion and intentional infliction of emotion.
Industry insiders say figures like Jay-Z and Diddy have long operated under extreme pressure, where even small shifts can cause major consequences. Big Homie CCE, a former bodyguard to well-known artists, noted that moments like these often create ripple effects that spread quickly. He pointed to recent tension involving Jay, Fox as an example of how fast situations can escalate once public discussion begins. His remarks highlight how unpredictable the entertainment industry can become when speculation, reputation, and long-standing power dynamics collide.
Jay-Z has now had an official lawsuit. It's everywhere. It's now being talked about louder than ever. I guess, does that give you some peace to know that people are finally really questioning this man?
It's emboldening me. I spoke on Piers Morgan. I said that I had 3 victims that I've been working with, victims of the Carters, that were ready to come forward. This might help them feel a little more confident now. So this is great because he's been evading. But the thing is, everyone in the backdrop knew that he was the celebrity John Doe. Everybody knew that. They knew it when I did Piers Morgan.
Is Beyonce Celebrity B?
I hope to God not. But she was around. And she's very... she's got enough on her plate. After everything that happened with the election and everything that's happening right now, I'm not going to dump on that woman. She got better fish to fry.
Well,
what I will say is that her husband, she knows exactly who he is.
Yeah.
She knows.
Facing growing scrutiny directly, Jay-Z has signaled that he intends to strongly defend his name and challenge the narratives forming around him. His legal team is actively responding to the claims while also managing public communication, emphasizing the broader implications the case could have for the music industry. Analysts note that disputes involving figures at this level often attract even greater attention and can influence how similar cases are handled in the future. The situation highlights just how high the stakes become when powerful individuals face intense legal and public pressure.
Jamie Foxx is speaking out after being injured during a confrontation at his birthday dinner, a day after the Oscar winner was allegedly involved in a physical altercation with an unidentified person, resulting in him needing to get stitches. The 57-year-old takes to Instagram on December 14th to address the situation and thank fans for their support. Jamie first shares a simple message on his feed that reads, "The devil is busy, but I'm too blessed to be stressed." He then writes in the caption of the post, "The devil is a lie. Can't win here. Thank you to everybody that pray and check on me. When your light is shining bright, they try to bring you darkness, but they don't know that you're built for it. The lights have been shining bright." On December 13th, the Ray actor was celebrating turning 57 with his family at a restaurant in Beverly Hills when things reportedly took a turn. A rep for the actor told NBC News at the time, Jamie Foxx was at his birthday dinner when someone from another table threw a glass that hit him in the mouth. He had to get stitches and is recovering. The police were called and the matter is now in law.
Attention is now focusing on a collection of recordings reportedly kept as a safeguard during high-pressure industry dealings. Sources say these recordings were intended to document sensitive situations and offer protection to those involved, highlighting the caution and mistrust that can exist when powerful figures navigate complex professional relationships. With the materials reportedly now in the hands of authorities, they've drawn intense interest from investigators and the public alike. The situation is putting everyone connected under closer scrutiny and sparking broader conversations about accountability, trust, and the risks of operating at the highest levels of the entertainment industry.
After not only the attorney who filed the rape lawsuit against him and Diddy, that would be Tony Busby, the attorney, but also the accuser. And he has filed a new motion this morning, which we're going to get to in a moment, but basically he wants to level the playing field with the accuser. But first, we got to start with this response that Jay-Z had to the allegation. Catch you up real quick if you hadn't heard, but a woman who had filed a lawsuit against Diddy back in October, alleging that he had raped her at a VMA after party in the year 2000 when she was only 13 years old.
Right. Remember, this is when she allegedly was given a drink. She felt woozy, and there was Diddy, and there was a male celebrity who was unnamed at the time, and also a female celebrity.
Well, that unnamed celebrity is now named. She refiled the lawsuit on Sunday. She and her attorney, Tony Busby, refiled it and named Jay-Z as the unnamed celebrity involved in the rape. Jay-Z's response is extraordinary in that, look, we've seen all these lawsuits against Diddy, dozens of them now at this point, and frequently his response has been to deny it, but to say nothing else. Jay-Z went way more than just denying it. He did do that, but then went directly after the attorney. Part of his statement said, "My lawyer received a blackmail attempt from a lawyer named Tony Busby. It made me want to expose you, Tony Busby, for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny." This lawyer, who I have done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these types of theatrics. You claim to be a Marine? Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity.
The New York Times contacted me to ask for my response to rapper Jay-Z's allegations that I tried to extort and blackmail him. My response is pretty straightforward. No one has made any threats. Jay-Z's assertions are bogus and laughable. Instead, our firm sent a standard demand letter seeking a mediation on behalf of a woman who alleges Jay-Z sexually assaulted her as a minor. The letter was vetted and approved by our client, whose preference was to attempt resolution short of filing a lawsuit. This approach is common in these types of cases. What you're seeing played out now is a coordinated and desperate effort to focus the public's attention on me personally to avoid attention on the allegations being made by my clients. This effort has included harassing my family and colleagues and even offering former clients money to sue me, which is illegal. When an alleged perpetrator behaves in this manner, wildly asserting that a basic demand letter is extortion and aggressively using the media to attack the opposing lawyer while at the same time ignoring the allegations being made by the alleged victim, it reminds me of a famous line from Shakespeare: "The lady doth protest too much, methinks." We intend to address all of these issues with the court in due course. Let me be clear, we will not be bullied or intimidated by these.
Tony Busby, the attorney representing the plaintiffs, has described the case as just the opening chapter of a much larger legal process. He noted that numerous individuals may be ready to provide testimony, reflecting the wide and complex network of connections that high-profile figures like Jay-Z and Diddy maintain across entertainment, sports, business, and politics. Busby emphasized that as the case progresses, its effects could reach far beyond this single lawsuit. The situation underscores the immense influence, scrutiny, and responsibility that come with operating at the top levels of multiple industries.
Allegations, right? Are you expected to eventually turn those things over, or
well, that's what we're going to head over to do now. So we have a hearing now to determine what we're going to do in terms of what documents we'll have to turn over and what documents we do not have.
So why were you in court?
Just to give testimony to the grand jury. He was subpoenaed by the court. So as we all know, if you don't answer a subpoena, the marshals will come to your house as they came to his house and they will bring you here. So that's why we're here today.
I know you can't mention celebrities per se. You did mention some in the interview. So just to clarify, you can back that up with actual factual footage.
We have, it's things that we have, but we got to go to the other courthouse. So I don't know if that's any more questions, but we got another hearing.
Are you nervous or do you feel cool?
Nah, I ain't never nervous. Only thing's fair to me is God.
But I know you did mention what was on the flash drive before. Would you be able to kind of go over that now, or is that something that you can't discuss?
No, we're trying to discuss that now, what we will be able to talk to in terms of what was available and what was on those flash drives.
Okay.
But it was the book. So
it is Kim Porter's book, but not necessarily some of the stuff with the celebs that were mentioned besides.
It's hers. Nobody touched it.
Oh, so it is her official book.
Yes.
And no one touched it.
Nobody altered it.
So it's not the copy that the gentleman said that he was selling before. No.
It's two different copies. That one was
As new accounts surface and developments continue, the pressure on high-profile figures keeps mounting, creating an environment of intense scrutiny and calls for accountability. Observers are watching closely, curious about what this could mean for the reputations and careers of those involved. Some are even asking whether this could become a defining moment for how the industry addresses long-standing legal and ethical challenges. Share your thoughts and join the conversation in the comments below.